Once you have your bottle sketched out, it's time to think about adding some text. But before we do that, let's make sure our drawing is right in the right proportions. You should be able to draw a line down the middle of your bottle, and it should be roughly symmetrical. You can do this if you like, make sure you do it lightly so that you can rub it out. And then you can check with a ruler or even with your finger widths to see if everything is roughly in the right place. You may need to make some adjustments. Feel free to do that and then rub out your mistakes. Next, practice sketching out the title or name of your drink. Remember how we did this with graffiti art? You want to write out your letters nice and large in a normal typeset. Think of that as the skeleton of your letters. Then bulk out the sticks or lines that you've used to create your letters so that they now become something like bubble writing. So either side of the line, you're fleshing out to make the letters thicker. Think about how they might overlap too. Then leaning heavier or using a darker pencil, outline your letters. Your bottle is round, so you want to think about how your letters will look when they're curved. On your practice piece of paper, you can curve it around so you can see how the letters have been warped and distorted. This is what you want to add to your bottle. Sometimes when you're writing letters, you would sketch out a line. The problem with a line is, on a rounded bottle, it will make your letters look wrong. So don't do a straight line. What you want is a line that follows the shape or the curve of the bottle. So roughly sketch out a curved line. This is what we're looking for. Decide where the bottom of your letters are going to be. Sketch out that curved line and start to draw your letters. Now, using a dark pencil or leaning more heavily, carefully outline your bottle, including the details and the letters. Once you've outlined your object, we're going to add hatching lines on one side of the bottle. Your hatching lines should also be rounded to mimic the shape or the curve of the bottle. Do these in pencil lightly. Add longer lines and then shorter lines in between each hatch. This will give the illusion of shade or shadow at one side of the bottle. When you're happy with how they look, you can go over them with a darker pencil or just lean more heavily. Do this for the rest of the bottle. We're now going to add colour. If you have watercolour paints at home, please use these, but if you don't, colouring pencil will do. Try not to use felt tip, as we'll need to use felt tip to go over the top of our colour later on. When using watercolour, try not to have it too dark. Remember, you can add water to watercolour paint on the page to lighten it. Restrict yourself to 3 or 4 colours for the whole artwork. Take your time with this part, keep within the lines, turn your page around frequently so that you can line up the edge of your brush with the outline of your bottle. Don't forget to add a background too, but make sure it's nice and pale. It's important that you let your paint dry thoroughly before adding a Sharpie outline. With a black Sharpie or some other felt tip, or even a black Barrow pen if you can't find a black felt tip, carefully and slowly outline your object. Outline the letters, any details, and the hatching lines. Remember, this is a pop art piece and we want it to really stand out. If you're careful, this is a good way to hide any mistakes at the edges.